Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, back on F1 2019 as always. And I've been doing a few videos recently where I've been talking about the fastest drivers around particular tracks, but today this is actually myself. And I did a league race here recently where I did a 27.1 or something in the qualifying. You can see the world record is 26.6 by Veloce Surprise, 26.867 in P2. And today, I just decided to jump on Grand Prix mode and attempt to try and beat this world record because I felt there was so much more time in the tank than I did recently. And I actually showcased my setup that I did on stream, so feel free to go back and look at that. But I'm just going to take you on board of a really good lap round here and just basically talk about it. I'm going to go through it twice. The first one, just a brief explanation, and then really go into detail in the second lap. So in this first corner, taking as much speed as possible. As the curve finishes, that's where you want to be starting to downshift, and then very, very early on the throttle. I keep it through 5th gear through here and kissing the curbs. You don't want to mount them. You really just want to kiss them because otherwise it will really unsettle the car. Making sure you stay nice and tight to the right hand side and completely flat out whilst changing ERS mid corner as well. Very, very important through there. As you pass 100 meter board, trying to stay in the curve as much as possible. As the curve finishes, actually a turning in point in 3rd gear, and then going up here, you want to be braking in a complete straight line, and you won't be turning into this very early because if you actually go in too deep, you don't really get the benefit of the camber off the corner, so you really want to be arriving very, very early into apex because it drags you around, and then going to probably one of my favourite corners on the calendar, going to spoon, 5th gear, running a little bit on the curb but not too much once again because that will unsettle the car, and then just completely rocket launch off this corner down this semi-long straight, and then going into overtake and max, obviously of course 130R, very easy, flat out, and going into chicane, very hit and miss, but just braking just after the 100 meter board. Well, fast in, hopefully fast out as well, hitting that deadly bump, coming across the line. It's a 26.834, and typically in Grand Prix mode, for me personally, I actually go quicker online doing Grand Prix mode, and that would have been enough for P2 in the world in time trial in Grand Prix mode. So we're going to go through this once again, this time going a little bit more detail, and of course arriving into this turn 1 in 8th gear, and let's see, just as before the curve finishes, that's where you want to be braking, just carrying as much speed but not drifting too far wide, completely flat out through this left-hander, then again staying in 5th gear, then for the left, middle of the track, that's when we'll be turning in. This corner, very, very important to stay as far right as possible, and then what the bit you want to be aiming for is this little patch just before that. That is your turning in point, and look on the ERS, change it for high to hot lap, and then back down to overtake, completely flat out as well. And then go into this corner just after the 100 meter board. That's when will be a slight dab on the brake and turning in. Once the curve finishes, take a nice late apex to avoid you going on this curve too much. And pay attention to the trail braking. If you look on the bottom right hand side, look at the trail braking here. This is trail braking in a nutshell. And as I go off the brakes, that's when I upshift and get a very, very nice release off this corner. And then going to swing, it's quite a tricky one. It will be taking so much speed on the entry, and again, this is exactly where I brake once I pass the 50 meter board. Going to not too much on the curb, as I said before, trying to don't hit the inside curb whatsoever, run a little bit on the exit, stay nice and tight to the left hand side to minimize the distance off the track, and then we'll be looking at the braking zone going into this final chicane. We're up on the time very, very nicely at this point, and the braking zone is just after the 100 meter board. As you can see, I'm just slightly going on the brakes, fast in, and again, as I said before, hopefully fast out. Want to stay tight to this, but you can't get caught out by that bump. Going across the line is a 26.8, which I was extremely, extremely happy with. And you'll be able to see my sectors now. I feel that was a very, very nice app. And there are arguably differences between the platforms, but you can see a 31.5, 39.0, and a 16.2. Some very, very nice sectors. And typically after playing on PC, I'd say that game is just a little bit more stable on the rear end. hence why there's a little bit faster lap times, also due to the frame rates as well. So I feel this is a very respectable time, and hopefully you have learned something as well. As always, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I appreciate all you guys. 85, if I could get my words out, 1,000 subscribers. I can't even talk saying that number. So really appreciate that, and hopefully you enjoy my videos for many years to come. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.